Hello, welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. So, I've got an update coming out regarding the war in Ukraine, and we're going to be talking about Donald Trump in today's video. He is the newly elected president in the United States, soon to be inaugurated on January 20th. So, if you all remember late last year, before Trump was even elected in November, that many times at his rallies, he would say that he would have the war in Ukraine ended in 24 hours once he became president. Also, even sometimes I believe he would state he would have this wrapped up under being president elect, which would be right now, before he's even inaugurated. So we have a huge report that just broke today, and this is something we've been discussing a lot about, and it will answer a lot of questions for some of you regarding whether Trump will continue supporting Ukraine down the road once he becomes president, and also will he have this war ended within 24 hours. Well, take a look at this new report here on your screen. Donald Trump's team admits they cannot end the war in Ukraine in 24 hours. It also says here the Financial Times reported that Trump's team has adjusted its timeline for resolving the war in Ukraine from 24 hours to several months and may not withdraw support for Kiev. Okay, so this is a very big report today, and this is something we've been talking a lot about. And I've been asking this question a lot: is Donald Trump going to end this war very quickly once he gets into office, or is it looking likely that it's going to be extended several months? Because we had a report just like this one that I showed you guys earlier this morning. Take a look at this from Ozen Defender. If you didn't watch my video this morning, this is something we did briefly discuss. But it says here, retired Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg, who is President-elect Donald J. Trump's special envoy for Ukraine, has set a tentative goal of 100 days to find a solution to the ongoing Russo-Ukrainian war. The statement, while a significant shift from the 24-hour solution championed before, is much more realistic and could signal that President-elect Trump's team on Ukraine, led by Kellogg, understands the reality of the challenge before them. So I think they're realizing now that this war is not going to be that easy for the Trump team to end, and maybe Donald Trump himself is realizing this, or maybe they knew this all along. Who knows? And maybe Trump just used that as kind of leverage to get his way into office, as a lot of people have been wanting this war in Ukraine to end. As the United States has been shelling out, billions and billions of dollars for this war, when that money could maybe be going to, allocated for other resources. But this is something that Keith Kellogg here, again, he's the special envoy for Ukraine. He stated this on Fox News just yesterday. So, he was even coming out saying that, within 100 days, he expects this war to end, that seems realistic. So this was something that we mentioned earlier this morning, and I had a feeling that it really was going to take months, and I was even mentioning to you guys that it looks highly unlikely that Trump was not going to end this war in 24 hours. So let me show you the actual report now. That was originally from the Financial Times, but I pulled this up on Ukrainska Pravda. It's the same report here, and it says Trump's team admits they cannot end war in Ukraine quickly, according to the Financial Times. This coming out today, January 9th, 2025. And it says right here, representatives of U.S. President-elect Donald Trump have acknowledged in discussions with European partners they will not be able to end the war in Ukraine swiftly, but have promised to continue supporting the country. I guess that's some good news. Even if they're not going to end it quickly, they'll at least continue supporting Ukraine, providing them financial assistance, maybe even weaponry. We'll see what happens. And it says here, source Financial Times, citing two European officials who spoke on condition of anonymity, as reported by European Pravda. It says here, details, the officials told Financial Times that discussions with Trump's incoming team in recent weeks revealed that they have yet to decide how to address the war. However, they confirmed that support for Ukraine will continue after Trump's inauguration on January 20th. The whole Trump's team is obsessed with strength and looking strong, so they're recalibrating the Ukraine approach. The source added that Trump's new administration is also wary of comparisons to the withdrawal of U.S. troops from Afghanistan and does not want a similar scenario to unfold in Ukraine. Okay, that'd be very good as well. I mean, we definitely would not want to have a situation like that, like what happened in Afghanistan, the horrible debacle and withdrawal under Joe Biden. And, maybe this is a good thing for Ukraine that Trump is getting into office. And if this war ends now, maybe it will end in a better way with Trump being in office versus Biden. We'll have to see what happens. But obviously, many people would have to agree the Afghanistan withdrawal was not very good at all. It was absolutely horrendous. Many people were upset with that. And if this were to happen with Ukraine now, this could have much worse ramifications in the end of this, as Russia could be a major threat to Europe. And we could maybe even see this war continue. Maybe other NATO nations get attacked. There's been lots of talk about that. Obviously, no one really knows until that time comes. But there's been a lot of talk in terms of security reasons or security issues with Eastern countries in Europe and Russia. So it says here, the Financial Times reported that Trump's team has adjusted its timeline for resolving the war in Ukraine from 24 hours to several months, which European partners have interpreted as a sign that his administration will not immediately abandon support for Kyiv. European officials are urging Trump and his team to maintain U.S. military aid to strengthen Ukraine's position in peace negotiations and bring Moscow back to the table. For instance, in December, French representatives told Trump's advisors that bolstering Ukraine's position on the battlefield means halting Russian advances in the east. They emphasized that as long as Russia continues seizing territory, negotiations will remain unattainable. So, regarding this right here, if we know that the Russians are continuing their advancement on the Eastern Front, Ukraine is holding them back, but the Russians are still continuing to press forward. So, if Russia's continuing to gain ground, even if it's at a slow pace, do you think Russia will actually come to the table and negotiate with Ukraine? I don't know. I'm thinking that maybe it's probably unlikely that they would, but we'll just have to see how things play out here. So it says background. Recently, Keith Kellogg, U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's special envoy for Ukraine and Russia, stated that he set a goal on a personal and professional level and aims to find a settlement to the current full-scale war within 100 days of the new president's inauguration, which we just discussed right here. And it also says Trump has previously stated that in his efforts to settle the Russo-Ukrainian war, he will not abandon Ukraine. So let's see what happens here once Trump gets into office, but it looks like, according to this report, in terms of Trump's team, not directly from Trump's mouth, but from his team, they do not have any kind of plan set on how to end this war, and it's looking like they're going to need several months, and who knows, maybe even longer after that. It could get extended again, depending on how things go. But it's looking likely it's going to be at least 3 to 4 months before this war does come to an end, and maybe 2 to 3 months before negotiations even begin. So don't expect anything crazy to happen right away. But I just wanted to give you this update and let you know what's going on with Donald Trump and his team in terms of ending this war. It looks like they are not going to end it within 24 hours. So let me know what you think about all these details down below. That's going to be it for today's update. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. And we'll see you in the next one.